Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. What you're looking at now is a prototype model of a DeLorean DMC 12 displayed in the Ulster Transport Museum. This stainless steel chassis shows the layout of the sports car with the rear mounted engine developed with Colin Chapman of Lotus cars. And this is an early fibreglass mould for the car, and above we have a half section of the body shell. Here's a background to this ultimately sad story. In 1975, a successful Detroit motor industry executive called John DeLorean formed a company called the DeLorean Motor Company. It would go on to produce one iconic car during its 7-year history. A car which would eventually be immortalized in Hollywood, while its creator would end in disgrace, bankruptcy and charges of drug trafficking. The British government bankrolled the project to the tune of $120 million in a bid to bring employment to a suburb of Belfast where unemployment was high and where the potential workforce was polarised by Northern Ireland's sectarian conflict. In retrospect, it may have been a naive plan from the British government's point of view. Certainly the Republic of Ireland decided against supporting the project, but John DeLorean was a persuasive promoter of his grand idea, and the British went along with it. The manufacturing plant was set up near Dunmurry, a southwest suburb of Belfast, in 1978, between two council estates, the Loyalist Seymour Hill and the Republican Twinbrook. Assembly lines didn't get started until 1981 due to delays in setup, and the first cars that rolled off the production lines were plagued with quality issues as the plant's workforce were initially largely unskilled and inexperienced, with many of the employees at the plant never having had jobs before. But the concept of having a mixed Catholic and Protestant workforce in what was an area of high unemployment was a lofty ideal. To put it in context, the first DeLorean cars were being produced during the turbulent years of the IRA hunger strikes, one of Northern Ireland's most severe periods of the Troubles. Sales of the cars did not turn out to be as positive as predicted. That, along with cost overruns and unfavourable exchange rates, caused the company to get into financial difficulties as soon as the cars started to roll off the production lines. The British government refused DeLorean's appeal for a bailout unless he could raise an equal amount of finance from other sources. Following this, John DeLorean was arrested and charged with attempting to smuggle $24 million worth of cocaine into the US. As the arrest resulted from an FBI sting operation in which DeLorean was filmed discussing the drugs deal with FBI agents, he was acquitted on the grounds of entrapment. The company went bankrupt in 1982. $100 million in investments was lost, along with 2,500 jobs. While all these people in southwest Belfast lost their jobs, what became of John DeLorean? Well, in 2005, the year he died, he had a net worth of $50 million. We think around 9,000 cars were produced over a 2-year period. They cost around $25,000 to buy at the time, which was widely thought expensive for the product. The car then gained worldwide notoriety in 1985 as a time machine in the hit film Back to the Future. I have 2 questions for you now. Answers in the comments, please. The first is, I wonder if the British government had a flux capacitor in a DeLorean car, allowing them now to travel back to the late 70s. Would they be so quick to invest? I think not. Though perhaps we should give credit to the Labour government of the day for genuinely trying to invest in a place that was in such dire need and attempt to address the problem of sectarian conflict. But let me know what you think. And the second question is, Had John DeLorean been able to stay out of trouble and hang in financially until after the popularisation of the car in Back to the Future, just a few years later in 1985, could he have turned things around? Interesting? Let me know in the comments. Please give the video a like and hit the subscribe button if this has been informative. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Naked Ireland video.